Okay, good morning. Welcome back to Business Management and Organization. I'm still your instructor, Carmina Dongkayan, and we are now in our lesson 11, Managing Your Career Risk Management. Ayan. So, that is our lesson 4, lesson 7, and our objectives are: Number 1, identify the career opportunities in management. Number 2, explain the influence of common factors such as work-life balances, stress, interpersonal relationships, attitudes, work ethic on the job performance. And number 3, define and give the factors that contribute to risk. And lastly, give the different steps in risk management. So, these are your this is our objectives for lesson 11, managing your career. Ayan, risk management. Okay, before we start, please have your modules with you and go along with our discussion. Okay? Now, let's start with, so managing your career risk management. So, management majors are prepared to work in a variety of business organizations. Siyempre naman, mga management majors, office administration, yung mga tapos sa Bachelor of Science in Office Administration, or BSBA, office management, or Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, major in Financial Management, major in Office Management. Ayan. So, previous graduates have been successful in organizations in all industries, including manufacturing, healthcare, financial institutions, gaming and tourism, utilities, not-for-profit organizations, and of course, governmental agencies. Okay? Specific positions management graduates have attained, sometimes with additional postgraduate work include, ito yung mga positions na pwedeng applyan ng mga graduates, ng mga management graduates natin. Okay, number 1, Employee Relations Manager. Number 2, Human Resources Director. Number 3, Senior Employment Analyst. Number 4, Management Consultant. Number 5, Financial Analyst. Number 6, Accountant. Siya din yung CPA. Number 8, Marketing Consultant. And number 9, Compensation and Benefits Manager. And of course, Office Personnel. Clerk. Rank and file employees, pwede din yan. Magsimula ka muna sa mga ganon na positions bago mo ma-attain yung mga managers, administrative aid 1. So, lahat ng positions na meron sa isang offices. Okay? So, pwedeng applyan ng isang management na graduates natin. So, many graduates of the program have also started their own businesses. Syempre, in a variety of industrial sectors. Yung mga pwedeng pag natapos ka ng business or management graduate ka, pwede ka ding magpatayo ng sarili mong business. Okay? Job fitness and performance. Hiring new people is expensive, so organizations look for any edge to improve performance. Siyempre, kung instead na mag-hire na lang sila, tignan na lang nila yung mga empleyado nila in order i-send na lang nila sa training para ma-improve yung performance nila. And, of course, yung retention kasi natin, di ba? So, according to Dr. Kelly L. Schofield of Good & Co., research shows that workers have good cultural fit to their organization, are a third more productive, 3 times more creative, and almost 90% less likely to quit. So, poor fit is estimated. They want new hires to fit into this new environment. So, job fitness and performance. So, meron tayong tinatawag na number 1, person environmental fit. Is the degree to which a person's personality, values, and other characteristics match of those companies. Siyempre, kapag yung personality ng isang empleyado nagmamatch dun sa environment niya, di ba? Yung values niya, yung characteristics niya, may nakikita din niya sa company, then magkakaroon tayo ng person-environment fit. A strong culture and shared values among coworkers can lead to a good fit. So this can translate to increased levels of trust and a shared sense of corporate community. Siyempre, kung maganda yung environment mo, di ba? Na-feel mo that you are welcome in a certain company, then magkakaroon ka ng magandang performance, syempre. So, for the organization, this means reduced turnover. Syempre, kapag masaya ka sa isang company, di ba? Most likely, hindi na nagtatagal yung mga empleyado niyan, di ba? So, increased citizenship behaviors and organizational commitment. May commitment ka din dyan sa company na pinagtatrabahuhan mo, di ba? And when we say a person job fit, measures how a person's knowledge, yung skills mo, yung abilities mo, and other characteristics na nagmamatch dun sa position na in-applyan mo or dun sa job demands ng isang company. So, someone who is conscientious and prefers routine may be the right fit at a power plant, while someone is innovative and proactive maybe do well in technology. Syempre, kapag innovative and proactive ka, diba? So, you attain that person na job fit, okay? Now, let's go to the healthy environment, productive employees. So, the benefits of a generally healthy culture and atmosphere within an organization are manifold and significant. So, the basic idea is summarized in the concept that a healthy environment results in productive employees. Siyempre, kapag healthy environment mo, di ba, kapag maganda yung environment mo, maganda yung ambience niya, nakakapagtrabaho ka ng maayos. Pero kapag hindi, meaning, may mga iba't iba kasi tayong definition ng healthy environment, di ba? Kapag toxic na yung mga kasama mo, it's not healthy anymore. Di ba? Kapag yung literally na hindi ka safe doon sa pinagtatrabaho, not healthy anymore, di ba? So, an unhealthy organizational culture leads to a lower job satisfaction, worse attitude, less productivity, diba? Increased levels of absenteeism, nag-absent ka na lang, higher rates of employee turnover, diba? And many other undesirable results. So, an organization can follow some strategies to promote a healthy work environment. So, number 1, we have here the managing employee stress level. So, how will you manage the employee stress? Di ba, nai-stress na yung mga empleyado mo, so ano dapat gawin mo? So, stressin mo lalo. Magbigay ka pa ng trabaho nila lalo. So, ganun ba yun? So, no. So, many of the negative results of an unhealthy environment are, closely tied to a high level of stress. So, kapag, syempre, stress ka sa pamilya mo, stress ka pa sa trabaho mo, then that person or that employee cannot work well and hindi siya pagiging productive para sa company, di ba? So many considerations here have significant ties to stress levels. So in many ways, stress levels can become helpful overall indicator of how healthy the organizational environment is. So at the very least, high stress levels should serve as a warning sign that things need to change. Di ba kapag na-stress na may yung mga empleyado mo, kailangan may mabago sa strategy mo bilang ikaw yung manager. So ano ba yung mali? Bakit palaging nai-stress yung mga empleyado ko? Bakit ganon? Diba? So yun, take sometimes a reflection or mag-reflect ka sa kung ano yung mga nangyayari within that organization mo. Kasi syempre, you need to consider the stress level of your employees. Nakaka-apekto din yan sa kung paano sila maging productive naman. And it is for your own company, diba? Yung company or yung organization mo din yung magsasuffer dyan if you hindi mo binigyang pansin yung stress ng isang empleyado mo or yung mga empleyado mo, okay? And next is we have the work-life balance. Ayan, one of the major issues that organizations and employees face is the difficulty in finding balance between yung work and personal life mo. So, it is not possible to separate those two areas completely as problems or stress in one area strongly affects the other. Siyempre, kapag sabi ko nga kanina, kung may problema ka sa pamilya mo, di ba, parang hindi ka lang kapag-work ng maayos. Di ba? Naapektuhan yung trabaho mo, tama? So, there should be a work-life balance. Okay? Further, ayan, the two areas often compete with one another for individuals' time, energy, and attention. Siyempre, may trabaho ka, may pamilya ka, so sinong pipiliin mo? So, kailangan balance yan. Alam naman na yung trabaho mo, di ba? Siyempre, pinaka-importante naman ang pamilya. Okay? So, you need to balance it. So, this leads to conflicts and stress within, in turn causes lower performance level on the job. Ayan, yung sinasabi ko kanina. Okay? And next is we have the interpersonal relationship. So, when we say interpersonal relationship, another major area of concern for a healthy work environment. Ayan. Is the nature of the interpersonal relationships employees have. So, because members of an organization spend a lot of time together and must collaborate with each other often closely. So, kapag interpersonal relationships, kasi your relationship to your boss, your relationship to your co-employees, your relationship within and outside the people around you of the people around you. Yan. Within the company and outside the company. Okay? So kapag meron kang relationship, magandang relationship sa kapwa mo katrabaho, magkakaroon tayo ng may collaboration sa inyo and you can work together to achieve the goals and objectives of that company, okay? And next, we have also the health, relaxation, and entertainment. Ayan. Yan na yung wala na ngayon sa atin yan ngayon at this time of this pandemic because we cannot unwind or we cannot go to a place that na makakapag-relax tayo, di ba? Kasi bawal lumabas, okay? Bawal mamasyal, okay? So when considering that health, relaxation, and environment when considering how to create a healthy environment for employees, the whole person should be considered is various aspects. For example, one area for increasing focus for business is the physical health of their employees. Yung about sa health pala, yung ang ginagawa namin dito sa nagsusumba kami, di ba, at 4 p.m. Yan, pumupunta kami sa roof deck, nagsusumba kami para makapag-extract ng konting um, ayan, anong term doon? Ayan, basta yun, maka para maiwasan yung hindi yung masyadong stress ka na, ayan, you need to ayan, dance syempre, or nagsusumba kami. So yun yung paraan namin, mag-exercise, ayan, nag-exercise kami para naman mabawas-bawasan yung mga namin, yung mga iniisip namin, okay? And relaxation and entertainment, of course. Organizations have realized that physically healthy employees are more productive. Ayan. Syempre, ang magandang resulta kasi dyan, ayan, nagiging productive yung empleyado. Nagiging physically fit sila kasi nagkakaroon ng time na mag-exercise yung isang empleyado, di ba? Despite of this workload that we have, we manage to have Zumba, okay? So, companies often offer health-related incentives and create programs that promote physical well-being among their employees. Ayan, ito na yung programs namin. Nagsusumba kami at 4 p.m., okay? So, nire-record din namin. Baka napanood nyo na, okay? So, and lastly, we have the personal professional development. So, ano na naman yan? Personal professional development. So, another final area we will consider along these lines is that of personal and professional development. So, it makes sense of businesses to invest time and resources into building and developing employee skills. Ayan. Siyempre, personal and professional development, yung time mo para i-enhance yung mga skills na meron ka, di ba? If you attended a training, a seminars, a workshops, na pwedeng ma-enhance yung kung anong meron ka, na pwedeng ma-develop kung ano yung meron ka. So, on a professional level, increasing employee skills and understanding strengths strengthen the business. So, many companies will help fund employees' education who want to pursue, ayan, advanced degrees or certifications in their field. Like, for example, yung mga guru nga natin, di ba, na mayroon tayong, kapag nasa gobyerno ka, may tinatawag tayong, or sa private, pwede din, may mga programs tayo na pwedeng maging scholar ka para makapag-aral ka, di ba? So, makapag-aral ka sa MBA, makapag-aral ka sa doctorate mo, na i-sponsor nila lahat, yung mga babayaran mo sa schools and including yung mga kakailanganin mo. So, that is napakaganda naman na program yan, di ba? So, for us to help the employees, yung mga empleyado na or mga teachers na deserve nila magkaroon ng ganung program, okay? Training, seminars, and programs can also be useful tools for professional development. So, yan yung sinabi natin kanina. Okay? Now, let's go to risk. Ayan, definitions of risk. So, ano ba yung risk management na sinasabi natin dito? Risk is used to describe any situation where there is uncertainty about what outcomes will occur. So, hindi mo naman talaga mapapredict ang risk, di ba? It is a difference between what is expected and what happened. Di ba? Hindi mo siya may expect or hindi mo siya, you're not going to forecast, pero pwede mo siyang mapaghandaan. So, ano ba yung mga risk na pwedeng mangyari dito sa event na to? So, those are the things that you need to consider also. So, in a business risk, the uncertainty of the return that will be earned, ayan, kapag nagpatayo ka ng business mo, ayan, yung risk doon, may kikitain ba ako dito sa business ko? So, yung risk doon, kung magkakaroon ka ng ROI, or yung return of investment mo, di ba? So, it is possibility of an event which could reduce the value of the business when it occurs. So, life is obviously very risky. Ayan. Even the short-term future is often highly uncertain. So that is all about risk. Now, how will we manage risk? So, example, nandito, syempre, i-assess mo siya. Magkakaroon ba ng risk sa event na to? And then, kung na-assess mo, i-control mo, i-evaluate mo, i-analyze mo, pa-process mo, magbibigay ka ng strategy, magpaplano ka, i-review mo. So, doon natin na-manage yung risk naman sa isang company, sa isang business, sa isang event, So, risk can come from uncertainty in financial markets, project failures, legal liabilities, credit risks, accidents, and natural causes and disasters naman. So, as well as deliberate attacks from enemies. Because of all this, several risk management standards are developed. Methods, definitions, and goals are varied depending on the nature of the risk involved. So, number one, ito yung sinabi ko kanina, i-assess mo muna kung ano yung risk na yun. Number two, ano ba yung prioritize your risk? Ano ba yung mas alam mo mangyari, okay? Figuring out your risk profile, choosing your risk strategies, executing your risk strategies, and measuring residual risk, kung ano ba yung natirang risk na maaaring mangyari sa isang event, okay? So, the risk management process, okay? So, risk management is two-step process. Determining what risk exists in a given situation and then handling those risks in a way best suited to the said situation. So, kailangan mo i-assess. So, ano ba yung mangyayari dito? So, and then, pag na-assess mo na pwedeng mangyari, ano ba yung magiging solution ko dito sa risk na to. So, therefore, nagkakaroon tayo ng risk management, di ba? So, we have here also in your module yung, na-discuss na natin to, the risk management practices. Okay? Establishing the content, i-identify mo, i-assess mo, potential risk treatment, paano mo ba siya iti-treat yung risk na yun, i-avoid mo ba, or you're going lang to reduce it, or your reduction lang. Okay? And create risk management plan, implementation, review and evaluate the plans, and of course, ano ba yung limitations niya of that risk. Okay? And of course, nandito rin sa modules natin yung primary functions, property and casualty insurance also have other functions. So, yung mga insurance or form of risk management natin. So, number one is stimulate business enterprise. Number two, it stimulates business efficiency. Promote less prevention kasi syempre na-assess na natin yung risk na yun, diba? And therefore, kapag na-assess naman natin yung nagkakaroon tayo ng risk management, nagkakaroon na tayo ng prevention on kung ano yung possible na mangyari or possible na maging problema. Tama? Siyempre, investments of funds, basis of credit. Okay? So, that is all about the risk management. I think we reached the end of our lesson, and I hope that you learned something today. Okay? Let's go now to your requirements. So, your requirements for lesson 11, we have here the, activity 1, write T of the statement is correct and false if the statement is incorrect or wrong. So, 1 to 15 yan. And essay, we have here answer in 10 to 15 sentences. So, number 1 question. Why is insurance considered a form of risk management? Bakit nga ba? Yung insurance. Okay, discuss its importance and coverage. Is there a need for a business to avail property and casualty insurance? Justify your answer. And you have surely experienced taking a risk along your journey as a student. So relate your experience on how you have turned that risk into an opportunity. Okay? So So that is your activity 2. So ito yung mga activities ninyo for lesson 11. So if you have any questions regarding the lessons and the requirements, mag-message lang kayo sa akin. Ayan, palagi nating sinasabi yan. Mag-inquire kayo sa messenger or mag-message kayo sa messenger. Okay? So that ends our lesson, and I hope you are doing good. You are doing your requirements. Okay? And bye-bye and God bless.